So Jose Mourinho and Manchester United meet again, Gabby. If anyone's going to be riled up for it, it's Jose, isn't it? If you were a United fan, and I know it's very difficult for you to put yourself in that position right now. I know, I can tell, I can feel it.
Top on.
Would you rather Ten Hag or Jose as the manager?
I would want Mourinho. Been there, won it all numerous times, 10 times over. Ten Hag, for me, doesn't have that bit of fear factor that I needed as a player. I needed to be scared of my manager, me as a player. Ten Hag, he'll probably sort of manager will come in after the game and say, listen, guys, we have to do better next week. See you tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? Where Mourinho is going to be right at you, like you're not performing. You're going to get more inspiration from Mourinho. I'm not sure Ten Hag's the man at all.
Right now, this is hard to ask this one because I know you're biased.
Don't ask it then.
No, I'm going to ask it. Are Villa a more attractive proposition for a player or a manager than United?
100%.
Why though?
First of all, Aston Villa in the Champions League, which is every player's dreams playing the Champions League. They're a more settled club. If you look at Unai Emery now, he's got the club in his hands. He can sign his players. No one above is saying sign this player. He signs everyone that he wants. There's no circus above. The owners, you see them in little parts and they leave the club to it. You don't hear about them. You know, they're not getting suspensions like some owners on the tunnel, Nottingham Forest. I think it's a healthier club at the moment. Are Manchester United a big club? Of course, by far. But at the moment, for a player, I'm thinking, how are we going to get in Manchester United? Players go there and then their careers go downhill. Everyone's talking about CIRCUS, amazing player. He's gone there. You can't even control the ball. Anthony,
I mean, it's still early for him.
Of course, he's got time.
Unfair to judge
he's got the time, but he's been poor since he started this season. Anthony went there, £90 million player. I want to pay 20 for him now. I want to pay 20. Dollars.
Dollars.
Not even sterling.
20 cents.
Yes.
Well, look, let's bring in Phil, a Manchester United fan. Who's rung up to have his say on the whole scenario of his club. How you doing, Phil?
Good morning, Phil.
Good morning, Abby. Good morning, Gabby. How are we both?
I'm very well, mate. Very happy. How are you?
I bet you are after the other night.
Yeah, you know, mate. We haven't conceded yet. 3 wins, top of the Champions League, top 4. It's all good for my club, mate. What about yourself?
It could be a lot better, I must admit. Sometimes I think we look back on our ex-managers with rose-tinted glasses. I can go back to Dave Sexton and Tommy Docherty, and some of the football under Dave Sexton was atrocious. It was boring as anything, but he finished second in the league. He'd get us to FA Cup final, so he's successful. I was bored stiff under Jose, but to some degree, he was successful. So if we get rid of Ten Hag tomorrow, who do we go for? Who can we honestly turn around?
Xavi? Would you have him?
Look at his history, not as a manager, as a player. Would he really want to come to us?
He has said that he doesn't want to manage in Spain again after managing Barcelona, so I think he'd be open.
Right, in which case, yes, I'd be open to him, but he'd have to be under a tight rein to prove himself. We've had that many managers since Sir Alex went, and they've all been promising the world, and nobody's come up with anything remotely like.
But Phil, you know, talk about my club, for instance, Unai Emery, and do you look as a Manchester United fan and think to yourself, like, you've got a manager who spent a lot of money, and you see in other clubs going forwards, and you see an identity, a way of playing, and you watch your club, Manchester United, and you don't. Is that the problem with Ten Hag, with his time being under threat?
I think the problem with Ten Hag is he spent too much money, like you mentioned. Anthony, for example, 80-90 million is not produced. There are other players that we could mention that have just not lived up to yet. Emery's gone there with virtually the same group of players and changed them in an instant. I would love to have him in our club and just say, there's the club, run it as you want.
Yeah.
But be successful and be entertaining, like he's doing with Villa. I mean, my sister's buzzing because she's a Villa fan.
I'm sure she is.
Lovely woman.
You thought that. You could sense that,
Yeah,
couldn't
I
you,
can
from how
tell.
Phil
She's
was
lovely.
speaking? Yeah,
Yep.
got a lovely sister.
Yes.
Listen, Phil, appreciate your call.
Thanks,
Thank
Phil.
you very much for your views on Manchester United
Just
this
the whole
morning.
club, though, Natalie. Like, you could probably say the same about Brentford. The fans, the owners, the players. Everyone's just on the same page. There's no problems. Yes, there was a little bit with the ticket pricing, of course, but apart from that, everyone's aligned.
Harmony.
No issues. The club's in a very good place.
Well, I know we had Neil Custis on earlier on from The Sun, and he was talking about the Ineos factor. We all thought they were going to come in and it was all going to be a new breath of fresh air. And listen, you sometimes got to go through bad times to get to the good times, and they've made a lot of decisions behind the scenes in particular that have caused issues or have led to a lot of negative press.
Yes.
Some of the people that they have cut jobs with, for example, the
Timing,
ambassadorial role
Timing.
of Sir Alex Ferguson.
Why do
as
it
well.
now? Why not just wait to the end of the season? And
yeah, there's a lot of things like that. But again, you're sort of thinking they'll come in and maybe it'll be a smooth transition. It does not feel like that at all. It's all disjointed, and we're seeing that on the pitch as well. Of
course, and you just don't see a style of play with Manchester United. I've been saying it for 3 years, and people were saying, oh, you don't like Manchester United. I've got no problem with them, but what's their style? You don't ever watch a Manchester United game and you say, yeah, they like to get the number 8s making third man runs, and they play from the back. Just different every week. That's the problem.
Well, if you want to have your say, then we'd love to hear from you this morning. 03717 223344. That's the number to call us on. United fans, if you want to have your say, would you swap Eric Ten Hag for Jose Mourinho, for example, right now? Phil was just there saying, look, that's rose-tinted glasses. We don't need to be going back to that sort of time because, you can always look back on
I do miss
happy
him,
times, but forgetting the dire football, for example.
I do miss Mourinho, though.
Yeah, he's a character. He
Spicy,
still pops up.
weren't he?
Yeah, he pops up there, as we've seen.
He loves a nibble
over
as
this
well,
one.
doesn't he, in a press conference? He loves a bite.
He just loves the press.
Yes, he does.
He loves to give. As I say, 03717 223344. That's the number to call us on. You can text us as well to 81089.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.